Okay. I don't have to introduce anything, right? Just go straight into it, or what do you want, Steve? Yeah. All right, I'm here with Lee Mariwether. How are you?
No, Mariwether.
Mariwether, sorry.
Mariwether.
Mariwether.
Yes.
Lee Mariwether. Sorry, darling.
That's okay. No, no
My
problem.
parents will slap me. Mariwether? Okay. Hi, I'm here with Lee Mariwether, and I'm just going to ask her a few questions about how she came in the industry and the struggles and temptations that she had to go through. Lee, what made you want to come to this crazy business?
Actually, it wasn't planned. I always wanted to be an actress. From the time I was old enough to go to movies, I would always be able to lose myself in films. My mother would take us to the movies, my brother and I, in Phoenix, Arizona, and watch the westerns. And I just wanted to be in them. And as I grew older, I wanted to study acting. My father was he was really wonderful because he allowed me to take special classes during the summer in San Francisco when we moved there. And I'll be forever grateful for that because it started me on the road to at least heading in that direction. I got sidetracked slightly when a fraternity at my college nominated me without asking or telling me that they wanted me to represent their fraternity at the Miss San Francisco pageant, which is a preliminary to the Miss California and a preliminary then to Miss America. And I I found out about it literally on the last day of auditions because they had so many entrance people, they were women coming from all over California, San Francisco area rather, and so I I had to audition about your talent, and I said, well, I guess I have to, all right, and so I did. And that's a long story, and you don't have time for that, but it goes on and on and on. But son of a gun, I was asked to be one of the 16 semifinalists, and at the pageant, I won. I was Miss San Francisco. Then I continued on because they said, well, now you'll be going to Santa Cruz for Miss California. And I said, do I have to? Because it really wasn't where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to Pasadena Playhouse and study there, but I was obligated to do this, and so I did. I won Miss California, and they said, well, now you'll be going to Atlantic City and the Miss America pageant. And I said, do I have to? And they said, yes, you have to. And then my father passed away. No. And my whole world dropped right out from under me, and I said I can't do anything. I can't do it. I can't go to pageant or anything. And my mother, thank heavens for her, said, you do have to realize that Daddy gone. We're not going to have the money to send you to school. You will lose the scholarships that you've already won, Miss San Francisco scholarship and the Miss California scholarship. And remember that when you go to Atlantic City, you're given a scholarship, $1,000 scholarship, just for going.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether you win anything there, but at least you'll have that, yes. And back then, now this was 1954, there was a lot of money. Yeah. And because I didn't have any, and I said, all right, I will go. And I did, and thank heavens I did, because I won, and that started my career. And in a way, things like that have happened by accident almost for me in my career. I've been so lucky. I think you have to be lucky. Luckily, at that time, I was relatively prepared to do an acting scene. That was my talent. That became my talent. I was going to do something silly, a pantomime that I had done for USO shows, but I realized that I had to do something of merit when I got there, and so okay, I'll do something of merit, and it was what I had done in high school. It was a play, Riders to the Sea by John Millington Synge. And I continued to use that as my talent throughout. And then when I was in New York, the Today Show asked me to be on the show, and I said, I can't. I'm going to be touring as Miss America. They said, we'll take you when you're finished. And that's how it all really started. Yeah.
So going through the business, and you actually have struggles and temptations. How did you deal with the struggles of people saying no and you're not right? And
well, they were very kind when I didn't get a job. I say, I'm sorry, Lee, you're just too pretty to do this. And I actually, when I was in the 6th grade, my first turn down of a role was from my 6th grade drama teacher, and she said, I'm sorry, Lee, you're just too pretty to play Mrs. Lincoln. You'll play the pretty maid. But I knew that I wasn't pretty, and that really made me mad. And I did. For a long time, when you grow up skinny, awkward, gawky, with knobby knees and big elbows and a crooked nose and all that sort of things and a really bad tooth, you just don't think of yourself as being pretty, and it never made any sense to me when I was in all of these pageants, and so. But I was fortunate that it continued to bode well for my being in the business, and the various jobs that came along. I was lucky to get them. Yeah. I think, but you do have to be ready when the luck happens.
Yeah.
And that happened when I was Catwoman. When I became Catwoman, I had 2 children. I had lost a lot of weight, finally. I had been going to dance class. I had got my figure back, and even better than it was before I became pregnant. And bingo, there I was, auditioning for Catwoman in the Batman movie. And I was able to get the role.
Amazing. So, was there anyone, friends, families that was there by your side that kind of helped you and pushed you to do it? Or was it mostly just you and your passion for film?
Passion to be a good actress, and it's continued along that way. I've had many mentors through my years. Betty Garrett, who we just lost just a few months ago, was one of them. She was a musical comedy star, MGM, for years and years and years. And she was a teacher at Theater West, an actors workshop that I belonged to, and had been very supportive of anything that I was working on, primarily musical theater. I don't have a beautiful voice. It would be really nice if I did. But she encouraged me, and she said, Lee, if you keep working at it, if you keep working and studying here and elsewhere, it will happen. And it did. I was asked to play Mame out of the blue, musical, very difficult to do. And I was able to do it. I really was able to, but I worked on it. Same thing with Hello Dolly. I did Hello Dolly. I do. A lot of musicals, little night music. Little night music I did. And that's almost an opera. Yeah. So I have followed her example, and the encouragement of my daughters now have been just monumental. If I hadn't had their mom, you've got to do this. You've got to do this. Why aren't you on Star Trek? Everybody else is on Star Trek. Why don't you on Star Trek? The little kids saying this. I said, well, I'll try. I don't. So I really went after a role on Star Trek just to please them. That's happened a couple of times on shows where they say, and now they're doing the same thing with, and they're still at it, saying, "Mom, you've got to get on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to." And I said, "But I'm not a dancer." They said, "Yeah, but you can. You can pretend to be a dancer. You're an actress. You can pretend."
Yes.
I said, "Well, if it happens, it happens. If I have the luck, you know." And they said, "Yeah, but you got to be ready. You got to be ready." So they have me at the gym 3 times a week, working out, so that at least I have the stamina to do it. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, but we'll see.
With the way the economy is right now and the way the industry has changed, what advice would you give young people that are trying to come into the business?
Study, study, study. When you're in the business of show, it's very easy to be blasé about the business. There's a history there. There is a history of theater. There's a history of films. It's easy to go back and look at the films. And it's very easy to go to a library and read plays, read about the history of the theater, read about the history of the actors. There's a wealth of information that you can glean for very little money to learn about the vocation that you strive for. And if it is acting, if it is film work, if it's television, all of that, it's available to you for a nominal fee. Really is. And that's, I've told any number of the youngsters here today. There's little ones too. You get the feeling that they might want to be actors, and I asked them. I did 3 times here, and they say, "Yes, I do. I want to be an actress, or I want to be an actor, or whatever." I said, "Study, study, study." You know, it's the old joke. How do I get to Carnegie Hall? Study, study, practice, practice, practice. Yeah.
Can you give us your name and you're watching Success with 180?
Okay. Hi, I'm Lee Mariwether, and you're watching Success at 180. At 180? Is that a?
Success 180.
Sorry. Okay. Hi, I'm Lee Mariwether. You're watching Success 180.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.